So in the first part of the lecture, I have discussed a brief introduction to research and introduced you to some basic ideas regarding research. The point that was quite obvious during that discussion was that research is all about production of knowledge. Now here I want to discuss here is different sources of knowledge. Human beings acquire knowledge through different means, and here I'm going to look at 4 of those sources which help us obtain and generate knowledge. Now, genealogy literally means the origin, birth. So knowledge takes birth from these 4 major sources: experience, trusted authority, reasoning, and research. Now let's look at all of these 4 in considerable detail and try to understand how production of knowledge in research is relevant to our understanding of genealogy of knowledge itself. So first of all, experience. Experience here refers to lived experience as a basis for empirical research. Research that is based on experience, observation, and experimentation. So human beings develop knowledge and base their perception on their own life experiences. So our vision about life itself, our outlook on life, is shaped by our own experiences in life. So these experiences in our day-to-day life actually become a source of knowledge. Some experiences teach us one thing and others something else. So that is why they say that life itself or time itself is a teacher. And it is in this context that you can easily understand why Aristotle called man a social animal, which means that man cannot survive without society. See, the connection, the relationship between man and society is so strong that life itself becomes unimaginable without this connection. And it is through this relationship with society that we navigate our way ahead in life. So first of all, experience includes social experiences, experiences that we gain through living in a certain society. And secondly, it also refers to professional experiences, experiences that we gain through our profession. They are strongly grounded in a particular profession. So if we talk about the profession of teaching itself, classroom experience, a teacher's interaction with students becomes and has become a great source of knowledge. It has generated many questions and forced us as teachers to look into those aspects which we find somehow disturbing and problematic about our students, and on the basis of our prior knowledge and wisdom that we have developed over the years, we have tried to analyze and answer all those questions. So there is a lot of research that is based on, that actually stems from a teacher's classroom experiences. So if a teacher is very conscious and careful, alert during his class interaction with students, there is a lot of knowledge that he can gain from this process itself. So that is why you will find some of the scholars crediting their students for their scholarship. A teacher owes something not only to his students, but actually, in my perception, to the very process of learning and teaching, because teaching itself is a great source of learning. So first means of knowledge is experience, and then the next is trusted authority. Now, trusted authority, that you gain knowledge from people, but people who are reliable under certain criteria. Their credibility is established socially and professionally. For instance, we gain knowledge and insights by listening to our parents, teachers, mentors, many people who influence us throughout our life. But you know, the knowledge that we gain from trusted authority is second-hand knowledge, which for a researcher, because we are studying research, and I must alert you about your role as a researcher. As a researcher, you cannot blindly rely on the information and ideas you gain from this source of knowledge, trusted authority, from teachers, parents, guides, professionals, and even from reading itself. See, there is a lot of criticism available on analyzing and understanding the way we understand and interpret a text. So a text is not something with fixed meanings, because the meaning actually comes from the interaction between the reader and the text. And this is the main argument that a cultural critic, Roland Barthes, offered and elaborated in his research. And through his research, we have this reader response criticism, where the response, the ideas, the understanding of the reader becomes very important, and the writer's authority over the text is to a great extent questioned and rejected, unless it is actually supported by the textual understanding of the reader himself. But you know, even this interpretation of the reader is not something that can be accepted without any doubts or without any further exploration and scrutiny and examination. Because when you read, the meanings that you associate with the text are not always there in the very text itself. Rather, you bring a certain ideology of your own to bear upon the text and then you interpret it. So, the ideology, a baggage of ideas that you already possess, certainly affects your understanding and interpretation of the text. So, what you need to understand here is, although I have explained it in some detail, the second source of knowledge is trusted authority. Knowledge that we gain from second hand source like parents, teachers, or mentors.